Man, where do we start, MJ? You've been seeing fights for years. Where do you start, man? This was crazy.
Yeah, first of all, I want to start by I want to applaud what I call these professional pugilists for them establishing a new standard and how two combatants should conduct themselves in the lead up to a fight. Right, these brothers handled this lead up so professionally, and they didn't engage in a whole lot of animosity.
Oh, you finally hear me, Twan? I don't know. Keep going, MJ.
Yeah, so let's get to the fight, man, because the build up to this thing was incredible, yeah, and I followed it. And we had an exchange, a text exchange last week, and you had asked me if I thought this was going to be similar to Hagel and Hearns type of deal, and I was like, nah, I don't see it going down that way. And the reason why I didn't see it going down that way was because of the skill levels of these two fighters and the way they approach their opponents in the ring. Spence, we know his rep. He's a come straightforward, power, known for breaking you down via the body, and he had the beast reputation, whereas Crawford, slick, well polished, well rounded, versatile. Everybody was basically giving the skill edge to Crawford, the power edge to Spence.
Right.
But the thing that really struck me about this fight is that people forgot. One, Spence has been off for 15 months. He hadn't fought in almost a year and a half.
Right.
Two, he had to make 147. I'm sure Spence is probably walking around like 170, 175. You can't discount that. The out of the ring activity, to me, was the determining factor in this thing. Like, it just seemed like from the jump. But before I get to the fight, one other thing that I noticed pre-fight, and that was during the weigh-in. During that weigh-in, when they had that face-off, you could see, well, at least I could see, Bud was laser focused. Not just this dude was laser focused. When they faced off, Bud did not blink.
Yeah.
Not one. I don't know if you saw it. Didn't blink not once. That let me know right off the jump. This was not going to be an ordinary fight. Like, this dude was prepared to go to extraordinary lengths to win this fight. I didn't get that from Spence.
Right.
And that's exactly what we saw play out in the ring from the jump. From the jump.
Yeah.
So you saw the fight. You watched the fight, right?
Hey, man, I was like, man, what the hell is going on?
Right.
I was saying, he's up here whooping on Earl Spence, man.
Look, let's go with the punch stats, right? Because I got the punch stats right in front of me.
All right.
This is beyond the blowout.
Yeah.
This is beyond the blowout. At no point in the entire fight did Spence land 19 punches in a round. His best round was the 6th round. He landed 19 of 69 punches for a 27% connect rate. Right? That was his best round.
Twan shaking his head right now. One of the other calls, he just shaking his head. He can't wait. Keep going, MJ. He can't wait to get his 2 pieces when you're done talking.
Yeah, so when I looked at the punch stats, it just reflected the beatdown that Spence took in that fight. And the other thing I want to highlight is that Spence was at a severe disadvantage in terms of preparation. Earl Spence had one dude, Derek James, who he was sharing. Derek James is training Charlo. Derek James is training Ryan Garcia. Derek James is training Anthony Joshua. Terrence Crawford had a team of trainers that worked exclusively with Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
And it was reflected in the outcome of this fight, because once they got in that ring, if you look at that fight, the first 2 rounds when Terrence Crawford was basically gathering data and assessing how he was going to approach this fight, he backed up. He retreated for the first 2 rounds. After he assessed Spence's power, you did not see Terrence Crawford take another step backward. He stayed in the pocket the entire rest of the fight.
Right.
And in the 6th round, there was a point in the 6th round, which was Spence's best round, where he's landed 19 punches. There was a point in that round where Crawford, he was in a southpaw stance, because both of them are southpaws. And Spence tried to come at Terrence Crawford's body and counter over the top, well, underneath of Crawford's left hand. What did Terrence do? Terrence, in the middle of that freaking round, Terrence switched to orthodox. It took away Spence's access to that right hook to the body by using that left hand as a shield to protect. Man, it was just Spence was so outclassed to the point where you're wondering, like, okay, why did Terrence Crawford take this fight? Because there was no comparison. No comparison.
Yeah.
And Brian McIntyre said it best after the fight. Derek James had 0 game plan.
Hey, MJ, Twan, Bo Mac said it best after the fight. Y'all want to talk about I eat too many Big Macs? I got the knowledge.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, and that was another thing that, kind of like, it rubbed me the wrong way, because Spence's camp was, it was a lot of rah-rah. Just a whole lot of extra shit that really didn't need to be inserted in that fight, because these 2 cats were conducting themselves in such a professional and respectful manner.
They were.
And I didn't think they needed to inject that into this fight.
Right.
But in the end, it was, man, that was one of the best performances I've seen in the last 20 years. Easy.
Wow.
Easy.
Wow.
Easy. No question. But I'm gonna let my man Twan speak.
Go ahead, Twan. I know you've been fighting your tongue for about 40 hours.
I was talking to Dez last night about it after the fight. Spence reminded me of Margarito when he fought Pacquiao. I knew his game plan. He's all about pressure. Just pressure. But at some point, he should have knew from the 2nd round where he got hit with that shotgun jab to put him on his ass. He should have known, like, okay, this isn't going to work. Terrence Crawford literally displayed the sweet science to a degree I haven't seen maybe in 10 years. Easy. I haven't seen that type of IQ with that degree of fighter, because again, Spence ain't no joke. Spence, I think, was like number 2 pound for pound the last time we looked at pound for pound. So like, Spence is great in his own right. It's just the fact that, like, Spence, you he didn't change angles, he didn't change levels, like, and the fact that Crawford dissected that in a round and a half. By the middle of the 2nd round, it was wraps. The moment he hit him with that shotgun jab and dropped him, Crawford already knew what he had to do. And then he just put on a clinic, straight clinic on how to not only break down a great fighter, but overwhelm him. I think it was like the 7th round where he got dropped twice. And I'm just sitting there looking at him like, yo, it's time to finish this. Like, Crawford, finish him. Like finish him. Like, I'm happy that Spence went out on his shield. He made no excuses. But Spence didn't make the adjustment needed that I was waiting for him to make. I'm like, all right, you see this isn't working. You see how Crawford's literally using his footwork, switching between southpaw and orthodox to literally take away your best assets, which is that jab and going to the body. It was like, I think in the fourth round where Spence was trying to come on and Crawford straight laid his body shot. Literally just sidestep to the left, swing and a miss, hit him with a straight left. I was like, oh yeah, this raps. I thought, like, me personally, I thought Spence had a chance. I picked Spence to win the fight. Just because I'm like, okay, Spence, you do have that straight pressure, but what's gonna happen when the smaller fighter actually puts it on you? And I think Crawford, he's a respectable fighter, but when he dropped him in the second round, Crawford was like, all right, I don't got respect for this dude no more. Fight wise, it's time to go to work, and
Hey,
that's what he did.
I'm gonna say this, fellas. Terrence Crawford beat Earl Spence the hell up last night, and it was bad. I never in a million years thought that he was going to whoop that boy like that. Y'all know that song, that AB song we play? You know, I beat that boy. Y'all know,
Yeah.
y'all know that song? He literally beat the crap out of him. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, and this is what really been making me mad, guys, is all these people online telling us Derek James is an overrated trainer. Derek James, this, that. Hold on. Pump your brakes.
He's not overrated.
I don't give a damn how much defense you think Derek James was supposed to teach him. If y'all heard Antonio Tarver's interview, I don't give a damn how much defense. When he was punching Spence, Spence was taking the shots like the Russian dude at the beginning of Rocky, and then coming back and punching him like damn Voltron and knocking him down. He couldn't even hurt him. So he can. What was he going to do? Just play defense and get his face beat up? He wasn't hurting Spence. He was punching him and then Spence hurt up. Ha. Errol Smith was all over the damn place. Like
it wasn't even the fact that like he hurt him. It was like Crawford had such good defense.
Man, Twan, let me tell you something. He punched this man. MJ, he would punch this man. And I'd be like, okay, that was a good shot. And then Crawford would eat it, and then Crawford would return the punch and knock Earl Spence's head into the damn second row, snapping his head all the hell back, man.
It was the angles. Like, he was taking such good angles whenever Spence threw it. Whenever Spence went to the body, Crawford, easy answer, bang. Spence tried to go back to the body, bang. In the eighth round, like, was it eighth? No, it was the seventh round, the first knockdown in the seventh round, where Spence tried to go to the body, and Crawford went over top, and then I thought Spence put a good shot on him over the top as well. But then, like, I'm like, okay, but Crawford countered him so well that knocked his, like, equilibrium all the way off. And then at the end of the seventh, where he just made him do a fucking barrel roll into the damn bottom rope, I was like, oh no.
I mean, Twan, you talk about how long I've been watching boxing. MJ been watching boxing way before me. MJ, what did you think about that performance, and can you even compare that to the people of the 80s like Sugar Ray and Hearns and all them and Hagler?
Well, you know, when I first started watching boxing, obviously the heavyweights ruled. You know, back in the day in the 70s, you know, it was all about the Fraziers and the Alis and the Nortons and the Berbers and, you know, all these massive heavyweights. It was Sugar Ray Leonard, obviously, and that what was that 76 Olympic team, Howard Davis and all those guys that brought the smaller weight classes into the broader public's interest. I can only compare Crawford's performance against Spence to it's only one fighter that I can think of, and that's Floyd Mayweather. Only because the defense that Crawford displayed in making Earl Spence look pedestrian, that in and of itself is masterful. You cannot take a pound for pound fighter and make him look average without being elite, like world class. So that in and of itself was, to me, masterful. But let me say something about Crawford's ring intelligence, because to me, this was more about the mental part. And I expressed that to you again last week, Corey, when you asked me who I had and whether or not this was going to be comparable to Hagler and Hearns. Right. And I said, no, it should be more comparable compared to Hagler and Leonard, because I knew that they were going to have this puncher. They were going to build it up as the so-called puncher versus this boxer. But people do not give Terence Crawford the props that he deserves.
Well, they gave it to him now. They damn sure giving it to him now.
They don't have no choice. But he's been calling for these fights for like at least the last 6-7 years. He's been calling out these dudes. And of course, he was with Bob Arum. And we know we don't need to go into all the politics of why he wasn't getting those fights. But anybody who knows boxing understood that Terence Crawford is an elite level boxer. Spence was built up as this so-called beast puncher. Terence Crawford is one of the most complete fighters I've ever seen because of his ability to make those in-round adjustments, to gather this data, take this data, process it, and then make the adjustments. All that credit has to go to not only Terence, but his team. Errol Spence did not have that. He doesn't have the mental capacity to mess with Earl, and his team, which is Derek James. Derek James did Errol Spence a disservice by not preparing him in a way that would have allowed him to make those adjustments. All those punches that he was getting hit with because he was doing what he normally does. He normally goes out there and throws those wide punches and wings it, but when he does that, he leaves himself open.
Well, and that's what I kept saying, MJ, and even my wife was sitting there like, how many times are you going to just leave his jaw wide open like that and get hit on the right side? Yep, and I'm sitting there looking at it like, what you doing? But at the same time, and this is where I'm going to get Corey for a minute, MJ. When people criticize Derek James, but had he just walked through Spence and took those punches and knocked him out, then people would say, oh, what a great this or that. Spence is just amazing. He's so strong. So at the same time, it's like, I'm with you, MJ, but on the other end, it's like, that's kind of what he's been doing. And he's been able to do. He beat Kell Brook like that. He beat a Kell Brook that was in better shape, in my opinion. He beat a younger Sean Porter, MJ. He beat a lot of guys that was, a lot younger and a lot stronger with that. So that's why I think it caught people off guard, but you're right. I know you say Derek James didn't adjust, and I agree with you, but it's just like, but then what would people be saying if he would have just been able to walk through and do what he had been doing? Then it would have been, the other way around. That's why I just didn't like how everybody was like, Tony Tarver, Derek James, this. And I'm like, look, I don't know what Derek James could have did if them damn shots was not affecting that man like that, and he was acting like whatever his name, Drago or whatever his damn name was in Rocky, and just on some Superman shit. It was crazy.
But you just mentioned their two common opponents. Did you listen to what their two common opponents said about each of the fighters?
What'd they say? Break it down, MJ.
If you go back, it's on YouTube. You can go look at it. Listen to what Sean Porter and Kell Brook had to say regarding Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Both Sean Porter and Kell Brook predicted that Terence Crawford would beat Errol Spence.
Sheesh.
They predicted that.
Sheesh.
And they were flat on right because they knew that Errol Spence was a one-trick pony. All he had was the power, so-called.
And that power didn't do nothing. I'm MJ, I'm sitting there 4 times. I'm like, I know he punching me. Crawford just looked at him like, what the fuck is that?
Terrence said after the second round, he knew that Spence couldn't hurt him. He knew after the second round. It was reflected in the fight because, like Twan was saying, after the second round, you saw Terrence Crawford did not relent. He did not retreat. He stayed right in front of Earl Spence. Everybody says, Crawford has no chance if he stands right in front of Earl Spence. That was what the narrative was. Well, Terrence Crawford did what Terrence Crawford always do. He takes good, great fighters and makes them look average.
My God. I mean, beat him up.
Like,
yes, sir.
Like I said, I compared Spence last night to Margarito and how he fought Pacquiao. It was no adjustment. Like, Derek, I don't know what Derek James was telling him because I couldn't really.
He was telling him some good stuff in the corner sometimes, but he wasn't. Spence wasn't reacting either.
Yeah, like Spence literally and Corey, you were right when you said it. Like Spence did what Spence does. Like Spence is built to the way where there's only really one way for him to win a fight.
Yes, and then he ran into the wrong one.
The fact that Crawford took what Spence did and eliminated it in the amount of time. That's why, like, I give Crawford all the credit in the world. I'm like, yo, Crawford is that dude, but like the amount of time it took for Crawford to really understand what Spence was trying to do, and that's what really amazed me about the whole fight in general. It was the fact it took him no less than 5 fight minutes. 5. Like anybody who's really like fought, like, and I've been in a ring with like some smart people, and like I've never seen somebody in 5 fight minutes take what he did. Like he really, like, and you saw it in between the first and the third round on how he took information and literally in the middle of the second round was like, up, game time, boom, 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 dropped you. Oh, you don't even have that much power for real. That's how I saw Crawford thinking. He's like, oh, I took one of these body shots.
Right.
Nothing. Oh,
that's it. Damn, that shit felt like my son.
Like, and you saw the switch. You literally saw the switch when he ate the first body shot. It was like, boom. And it was like right when he was in the corner. So I'm like, oh, that's a good body shot. Like I literally, Spence set it up like he usually does. Walks him down with the jab, has him in the corner, throws the mean right hook to the body. I'm like, oh, he's got it. And then Crawford just looked at him and was just like, oh, that's it? Oh, okay, game time. Let's go. Literally, that's all he did. And then the fact that Spence just didn't adjust. That's my one knock on Spence. It's like, you gotta adjust. You have to adjust. When you see the fact that what's your bread and butter isn't working. No matter what Derek James could have told him in that moment, because Spence wasn't adjusting. Spence, like, I'm pretty sure Derek James told him some stuff in between the earlier rounds, but the fact that he didn't use it, like he didn't use what Derek James was telling him. It was literally every round he started the same. Walk forward, throw the jab, go to the body. Walk forward, throw the jab, go to the body. After the 4th round, you started seeing him back up a little bit. I'm like, okay, maybe he's trying to set him up with something or set an angle where he can like pop in a body shot where he can come over the top. And then he tried that in the 6th round, and then freaking Terrence Crawford nearly knocked him freaking into the 3rd row. Literally, he was just like, boom, slipped the body shot. Crawford was like, boom. And I looked and I was like, oh, yep, there he goes.
Hey, fellas, I'm sitting there, I'm MJ, Twan, I'm both sitting there like, I paid $84 for this? I'm like, this David Avenesian, like what is that? I was sitting there looking, I said, man, this man beat the living daylights out of Errol Spence. And all them dudes Yeah, like all them dudes that was running their mouth, all these channels, he ducking, he this or that. Crawford the whole time they called him coon, they did this and that. He just was quiet and said, "I'm ready. I want this." He knew that he wasn't gonna get this fight unless he signed with Al Heyman. That's why he left Top Rank. And even when he was trying to even when he was trying to negotiate with Golden Boy, he knew Golden Boy wasn't gonna get him that fight. So he took whatever pay cut he had to take. And he mollywopped, monkey dog, monkey stomp, whatever you want to say. He, like y'all used to say back in the day, MJ, he monkey dogged his funky ass. Like that's what he did.
He
with a straight face.
And on top of it, Spence already revoked his rematch clause.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm gonna speak on that, and I'm gonna let y'all go. Earl Spence, I'm not paying $84 to see no rematch. I don't give a damn if you at 160, whatever your strength ain't been lost that hard. Whereas if you go up and you can't even, that's just for the people who was trying to call in. Y'all got a couple seconds left. Y'all don't call in. We just gonna keep rolling. So you good, MJ? We rolling. So I'm sitting there like yo, like I don't want us to pay $84 to see you get your ass up. I don't give a damn if y'all both move up to 200 pounds together. You ain't got no chance against this man. That was a total ass whooping. It will be no point in that. I'd rather see you fight Boots Ennis, or you just go to 154 and you start working your way up the 154 ladder and start with the top 10.
That's what he's gonna do.
What'd you say?
He said that the way, and he said, "Look, either way, the way this fight goes, I'm trying to jump to 54." I'm like, "All right, cool." So even if you
that's
lose,
cool, but my thing is, if he want to fight at 54, Twan, or MJ, what is 54 gonna do? 54 ain't gonna do nothing. Your pyro did not hurt this dude. He literally beat him like a big brother. Like his power didn't do nothing. Did y'all see how Crawford just took his punches? Like, is this sparring? What is this bullshit?
He looks
great point, because I was about to say the same thing. You remember when Roy Jones was at the height of his career, and he was ducking this dude named Antonio Tarver, and nobody really knew who Tarver was.
Right.
But Tarver knew Roy Jones because they had fought a lot in amateurs. And when they met in the ring, what did Tarver say? Ain't no more excuses now, Roy, right? There are just some fighters that have your number. That it don't matter how many times, what weight class, it don't matter. They just got your number.
Yes. I was just about to say
it. Goodbye.
Keep rolling.
Right?
Yeah.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Keep rolling, MJ. Keep rolling.
Yeah, so I think this is one of those instances. It don't matter if they fought at 135, 147, 150. 154, 160, it don't matter. Earl Spence does not have the tools in his toolkit to compete with Terence Crawford.
No,
he
not at all.
Athletically, he's not on the same level as Terence Crawford. Man, look, there was one point in that fight where Earl came in and he bum rushed Terence Crawford like, he's typically going to do. And he had his head down, and he threw some wild right hook. Terence Crawford counted him 2 times to the head and 2 times to the body before that dude could retreat. When I saw that, I was like, there's no way this dude can beat him. If you throw one punch, you miss, and the dude hits you 4 times in the next second. Bro, you cannot compete against that unless you do some adjusting, or, you know what I mean, you get some help with something. But there's no way that I want to see Earl Spence fight Terence Crawford again. Yeah. I just don't want to see it.
No, I don't want to see him get hurt. I don't want to see him get embarrassed.
Exactly. I don't want to see his career shortened, because that fight last night, believe me, that fight actually took some years off of Spence's career.
And
right. He entered that ring looking like a young man. When he left that ring, he looked like he was 40 plus.
His face was busted. Good Lord.
And then everybody yelling at Derrick James like, "Oh, he should have stopped the fight." I'm like, "No,
I'm sorry. That's not Derrick James' fault."
That's what I'm saying. If he had stopped the fight, then what would have happened? Then his fighter would have been like, "Why you stop the fight? Why you play me like y'all
exactly.
that's
not Derrick James' fault. I'm sorry. It's not like at the end of the day, I understand Derek James has all of his litany of fighters that are all going through like big fights that are coming up.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's on Earl Spence. Earl Spence was claimed number 2 pound for pound in the world.
He was the big fish. He was the Barracuda, right?
Exactly. Unified welterweight champ. And you called for this fight for years. There is no reason why you did not do your homework. Like, Spence, why didn't you do your homework? You've been calling for Crawford out for years. So you should know exactly what Crawford does. And Crawford did what Crawford did. He looked the same as he does in all of his fights. He makes his adjustment. He's calm, cool, and collected. Okay, you're going to bull rush me. All right, cool. Rat-tat-tat-tat.
Yeah, he monkey dog.
Over. Crawford looked so comfortable. Like, and I don't think people give him that much credit. He looked so comfortable. In that, like, you can see it. Like, it didn't look like he was breaking a sweat. Like, he just walked in there and was like, oh, okay. Oh, you're going to bull rush me. Jabs.
Yeah, he was like, y'all don't understand.
So calm. Like, he didn't look tense. He didn't look like he was in trouble. It's like, and then what a lot of people don't give him credit for is like, he's been in 18 straight world title fights. Not 18 world title fights. 18 straight world title fights. So the moment wasn't too big for him. He's already been in that position. And the fact that he looked that comfortable, like, there's levels to this, and Crawford showed that there are levels to this.
And speaking of them wide hooks, what did y'all think of Ishak Cruz on the? What do you think of that?
He was running. The other boy was running.
The other dude could take some punches.
He was running. No, it was to the fact that I was
Give Cabrera his credit, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cabrera was taking the punches. Cruz was busting him upside his head. And he was just like, yeah. And he had his arm raised at the end and everything. Like, yeah.
Because he thought he got robbed.
I was in Baltimore watching this fight under the stars on one of my homeboys, Twan. Shout out to Twan and Dre for hosting the fight last night. And, I was watching this with a lot of casual boxing fans. It was probably more females there than males.
Right.
So they're watching this fight, and they're looking at Cabrera. Now, Cabrera was game, right? He was definitely standing in there. He was taking a lot of shots from Pitbull Cruz, and he was coming back with his own. He just wasn't, he didn't have the power that Cruz had. A lot of people were saying that, they thought Cabrera won that fight. And I had to, bring them back down to reality, no, that's not how boxing is done, man. Pitbull Cruz is the A fighter in this fight. If Cabrera wants to win a decision from Cruz, he is going to have to beat Cruz decisively. He cannot leave any doubt about it. And it was just too much doubt in the judges' minds to give him the rounds that he needed to win that fight. But he represented himself very well, I thought.
Yeah. I'll give Cabrera the credit, standing in there, but you didn't see Cruz was getting upset, especially after the ref took that point for that quote unquote headbutt that he gave him, because Cabrera would hold him every time he would walk him down, because that's all Cruz is doing. Cruz literally just walk him down, overhand right, overhand left, hooks to the body. And then just the circle continued. I give Cabrera a whole bunch of credit, because there's some shots that Cruz is giving him that would have dropped a lot of people, and Cabrera ate them shots. So I give him that type of credit. But
absolutely, that dude had a nice beard. He definitely had a nice beard.
Hey, it was a split decision, Twan. Yeah. It wasn't like it was unanimous. Some people was like, "Yo, I'm leaning towards Cabrera."
No, I wasn't, because I saw that.
I wasn't either, but it was still funny because when he first got in there, I'm like, "What is this tomato can doing?" That dude in round 10 was like, hit me again. And he kept going. So my thing is, y'all boy Tank from Baltimore, I think that he just had an off night. And I think that, what's the name is, Ishak Cruz might be a little overrated. His power ain't what he think it is. And maybe that's why he ain't getting that ring with Stevenson.
I'm going to say, well, again.
Tank is going to avoid Cruz. Mark my words. He is not going to fight Cruz anytime soon.
I wouldn't.
which is the fight that he should take, because that is the fight that the really the boxing public wants to see, because Cruz gave him the best work out of anybody that he's fought.
But then why did Cruz avoid Shakur? And I think Tank knocked Shakur out.
It's Styles. Styles make fights.
Listen, Shakur can do all that slick boxing and all that. But if he get caught, like he got caught against Nakatani or whatever the African dude name was, he put in Shakur to sleep.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that Styles make fights, though. So Cruz figures, because of how slick Shakur is, because Shakur, yeah, you said it. Shakur is a slick fighter. Tank is very high IQ, set you up, and then put you to sleep. Shakur is a very slick fighter, where he will literally manipulate what he has to manipulate to get you. And Cruz is a straightforward Mexican fighter, straightforward, in-your-face fighter. It wouldn't, I get why he ducked Shakur, because those styles, Shakur would beat Cruz easy just because of how Cruz fights. He's very straightforward, doesn't take angles.
Shakur got that reach.
And then on top of it, all you got to do is just paw the jab, bang.
What you say, MJ?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Twan. He will beat the brakes off of Cruz, because Cruz is not a fighter. He's simply the fighter. He's just simply, you know what I mean? He's almost like Spence in a sense, because he's a one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So that's why I'm hot. Man, look, there's there's 3 fighters right now in these lower weight classes that I have the utmost respect for. And I give these fighters all the props, because these youngins are coming up and they're being trained the right way. That's Shakur Stevenson, Regis Prograde, and Bruce Ennis. Those are my top 3 youngins coming up, man. These kids are being trained the right way.
I thought you was going to hurt my feelings and say anyway, because I don't want to talk about that no more, man. He beat my boy Steph fooling the hell up.
I told you it was going to happen.
Man, I don't want to hear that, Twan. You was the one who didn't answer your phone and was asleep.
No, my other phone was dead. It don't charge no more. That's what I was trying to
I don't want to hear that. But MJ was up, Jazz was up, you was asleep.
No, I wasn't. I was up. I watched the fight because I had to go to work afterwards.
I was pissed off that ESPN told me it'd be up at 4 a.m. and it didn't start till 8 a.m. in the damn morning. I said, y'all could have told me this.
Yeah, no, they said it was supposed to start at 9 or something like that. But I told you. I was like, here's what's going to happen. Anyways, going to put Fulton down. And a lot of people ain't believe me. A lot of people. I was like, look, anyway, it's something different. Y'all got to just wait and see. Everybody's like, oh, Fulton's just too big for him. I'm like, anyway.
Hey, Twan, if Fulton was going to lose, he should have made him come over here to lose. I wouldn't have went all that way to lose.
Yeah, but still, Inouye did what Inouye does. He did the same thing that Crawford did to Spence.
I guess that's where the money at.
He did the same thing.
Look, like you said, styles make fights. And in this instance, with Inouye and Cowboy, Steph, I think really traveling to Japan and having to go over there and fight in this man's house, I think it really affected Steph. Because if you look at the way he fought, he didn't fight the way he normally does.
Right.
Something changed. I'm not sure why, what precipitated that, but something definitely changed in how Steph handles himself in the ring. I don't want to take nothing away from Inouye, because right now he's sitting right behind Crawford at number 2 P for P. So I'm going to give him his props in that sense. But he got to show me a little bit. I'm like Twan. I'm reserving judgment on Inouye. He got to show me a little bit more. Fulton is not a big puncher. And when you're not afraid of what's coming back, you can get real brave. So I want to see Inouye get in with somebody who's bringing as much power as he is, to see exactly what his mettle is, and then I'll have my real judgment on Inouye. But make no mistake about it, he looks like a little monster against Fulton.
Well, they're already talking about should they meet him and Tank meet halfway.
No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, Inouye is great, but I don't think he can take Tank's power.
Inouye is too small. I wouldn't. No. No.
I'm with Tank. Man, look. I said
Twan shaking his head left and right. MJ like, nope.
Bad idea. Bad idea.
With Tank, people got to understand, out of the ring activity affects how you perform. And right now, Tank's ability to compartmentalize and basically block out all the noise when it comes to being able to, focus and fight is unmatched. We understand that. But you can only go to that well so many times before it catches up to you. And Tank is absolutely sabotaging himself with his out of the ring activity.
I honestly feel
because nobody's talking about this shit. I want to be the first one on record to say that Tank is setting him on. Tank is his own worst enemy, and he's setting himself up for his first L. Not his opponent's. Tank is sabotaging his own career with his out of the ring activity.
It's whenever he steps back in Baltimore for it. Like it's the fact that like Tank was doing good in Vegas. Tank was out of trouble in Vegas. Tank was literally in his bag in Vegas. Like it's the moment he got put back on probation, and the judge told him to stay in Maryland. As soon as he said that, I'm like, Tank's fucked. And I said it just like that. Like my wife, she was like, "What do you mean he's fucked?" I'm like, because of the people in his circle in Baltimore. He's gonna they gravitate toward him, and he makes them mistakes. Like honestly, Calvin Ford, you need to freaking. There are some fighters where you can like let the leash off a little bit in certain places. Here in B-more, you can't have Tank all out there like that. Yeah, he's out of jail now, and he understands that. But like 3 months. Even freaking Rolly was like, "Oh, what do you do while he was in jail? Just work out?" Yeah, but he ain't Tyson. Like, he's not. Everybody's comparing him to Tyson, but Tank's not Tyson. Like, he's gotta stay like he was in Vegas, to himself, only with his team, not with people outside of Baltimore. Yes, you are famous in Baltimore. Yes, everybody loves you in Baltimore. Yes, everybody wants to be around you in Baltimore. But not all people ain't good people. Especially if you're going to get into a situation where you're going to get hemmed up. And he's right in the prime of his career where you have 3 or 4 people ready to rock with him. You got Kambosos calling him out. You got Lopez calling him out.
Kambosos will get put to sleep.
We all know Kambosos is going to get knocked out. Lopez will probably still get knocked out. You still got Rolly still calling him out because of whatever Rolly does, because Rolly's retarded.
Rolly get put to sleep again.
Who else? Shakur still wants to fight him. Haney don't want no part
That's just
of him.
yeah. Haney. Let's talk about that real quick. Like I was really disappointed seeing Devin Haney vacate and go up. It's like, are you like to me? I feel like you are scared of Shakur now. Think about how many times I done vouched for him, Twan. I done vouched for Haney so many times, and it's just like whoop him.
I don't think he's scared of Shakur. I honestly feel like he just can't make the weight no more.
I like that.
I really like the last when he fought Lomachenko. You saw the difference in size. Like I thought I was really going to see the difference in size between Crawford and Spence, but I didn't see it. So I was like, okay, I really.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Last night, fellas, Crawford looked way bigger and way more chiseled than Spence.
Yeah, like you saw, you didn't see it like the way you usually saw it. So like,
right,
the fact that you seen Haney as big as he is, like Haney is a big lightweight. Like, and then the fact that like I understand, like as soon as he said like I'm moving up, I'm like, okay, I understand why. It's not that I don't think he's scared of Shakur. I just think that he.
I said really, I don't think he's scared of Shakur either, but I'm just like, man, Shakur talking too much. It's just like, man, you got to go make that weight and beat him up one time.
But once again, I go back to Shakur, like, bro, you just got here.
Right.
You just got to 35. You only fought once in 35. Like, I understand you feel so you can beat Haney, but bruh, put in work with all the other 35ers before you go after Undisputed. You only fought one person there. You ain't going after Tank. You ain't going after freaking Lomachenko. You ain't going after nobody on 35. Fight freaking Eastside Cruz once Eastside Cruz gets his head out of his ass. Do something like that.
Go ahead, MJ.
But you understand why Shakur has that attitude with Haney, right?
Oh yeah, I understand why. I definitely understand why, because like
Right.
Shakur really feels as though he could beat Haney. Like I don't think he can.
They got history. You know their history, right?
Don't they? Didn't they fight like in amateurs a couple times?
Bingo. They've been fighting. Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson's been fighting since they was like, what, 11, 12 years old. They've been fighting each other. And Shakur has come out on record as saying, I never had no problems with Devin Haney. Never. Our entire careers, I've never had any problems taking out Devin Haney.
Jeez.
Devin Haney has not refuted that statement. I haven't heard him refute it. So, to me, this seems like history actually playing itself out in real time. Like, they got history. Haney knows that Shakur got his number. And Haney's going to avoid Shakur at all costs unless he has to get in there.
But at some point,
the same been said for Teofimo. He said he had Haney's number in sparring at the weight. Y'all know all of them lies back and forth at the Mayweather gym, where he beat him in sparring. Oh, he whooped him in sparring. So
Yeah. I take that into account, though, man. When these guys are, setting up these, these potential matchups, I take that into account because, obviously they don't make the fights, right? They got handlers and stuff that make these fights. And their management, they're trying to maximize these fighters' potential while they can because it's a very short window that these dudes have to make top money and to be in the spotlight. You don't get very many fighters with these 10, 15-year runs.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Most fighters, you give them 2 to 5 and they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, we could all name. I mean, y'all remember I remember Lucas Matisse, Ruslan Provodnikov. It's a lot of dudes in that area. Even Victor Posto. We ain't heard from them in years.
Keep going. Exactly. Keep going, man. That's just the nature of the sport.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Right. Yeah, like what's his name? The dude that used to fight that fought Canelo, Angulo. I don't see him no more. Arislandi Lard, he was all right. Gerard Hurd, Julian J. Rock Williams. You know here, like they be going.
Yeah.
Wow. You definitely brought up some names that, like you said, have been in the recent past. These are world-class fighters. Where are they? Right?
Yeah.
We heard about them for about 2 to 5 years, and the next thing you know, they basically out the scene.
They had one big win, and then like after that big win, it was like where they eclipsed that, and that was it.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that's my point in terms of why certain fighters don't get to fight each other. It's not because they don't want to fight each other. It's because their management and their handlers are trying to maximize their.
And hey, fellas, speaking of that, you just brought up a great point, MJ. Errol Spence being out of the ring 18 months, I don't think that helped him.
No, not at all. No, nope.
Was it 15 months? Like he's in the prime of his career. He in his 30s. He should have been in there. He should have been like, boom, I just whooped you guys. Texas been open. They ain't had the COVID problems in the place. Boom, let me jump right back in there with Keith One-Time Thurman. And then earlier this year in January, let me jump in there with somebody else that's top ranked at welterweight. He would have been a way better dude or different dude had he fought, let's forget January, guys. If he fought like February, March, he'd have been a way different dude.
I don't think so.
I mean, Bud would have beat him because Bud looked like damn Superman last night.
Something that I noticed that they said at the top of the broadcast that Spence has only fought in 2 southpaws. 2.
Ooh, and Bud can go both ways.
And Bud 77% of the time fights southpaw because of what happened to his hand. So the fact that Spence has only fought in 2, and it wasn't like recent 2, like the only 2 southpaws he fought was in 2015 and 2013. So between 8 and 10 years ago, he was fighting southpaws. So he hasn't fought a southpaw since, or anybody who can switch up. And the fact that Bud, something happened to his hand early in his childhood where he had to switch to fight southpaw, and then he said, "Oh, my left was stronger than my right," even though he's a natural orthodox fighter. I don't think even with him with that. going in there that it would have even made a difference because of how. Again, I'm a southpaw, so
right.
A lot of people who
I know
are
you're
southpaws,
southpaw, Twine. You tell me every week. Keep going.
but like you could tell in the ring, like somebody who isn't used to fighting. It's just the way their mannerisms in the ring, how they're trying to calculate and adjust to fighting, and you can sense that. And I think Bud really sensed that early in the fight, like, oh, he really doesn't know how to fight a southpaw.
Right. What was you saying?
Really doesn't.
You were saying that.
Look, Corey, this is a very good point that you made, and I'm going to bolster it. That 15-month layoff, that wasn't because he was vacationing and just enjoying the good life, right?
Right.
Why was he off for 15 months?
He got that car accident.
He did get in another car accident too.
He had 2 car accidents, 2 potentially fatal car accidents,
yes.
And he had eye surgery.
Yeah,
for that retina.
Right?
This is definitely, fellas, I will say this. It's definitely not the same Earl Spence that went over to the UK and beat Kell Brook. Because even then, Kell Brook was catching him like he was catching Sean Porter. But that Earl Spence could take them punches and keep coming forward. Yeah. I wonder what that Earl Spence would, and that's what we've been talking about, MJ, since January. Twan joined in April. Even Dez, he been talking about it. What the hell was Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua thinking when they were delaying that fight? When you delay these fights, you don't know how it's going to help out. Luckily with Floyd and Pacquiao, if Floyd still did his thing because he was Floyd. But look at what happened with Joshua and them and all these people who just be like, yep, I'm going to keep waiting this fight out. You don't know if it's going to hurt you or help you. So if they call it, you better fight right away. In the future, eventually Haney is going to have to fight Shakur, like y'all said, whether it's at 140 or 147. Him dunking him now, he doesn't know how that's going to play out. Will Shakur keep getting better? Will Devin keep getting older? Will Teofimo get better? Like, y'all, come on, man. People be playing that game.
Yeah.
And to further back up the point where we've been talking about with Spence and his out of the ring challenges, Spence likes to party a lot. Spence likes to hang. He likes to hang.
Oh, I know. It's a lot to do in Dallas. I know. It's a lot to do in Dallas, Texas, and Houston.
People don't take into account. When you're ingesting a lot of alcohol as a young person, and I can attest to this because when I was young, I played sports. I played a lot of sports, primarily basketball, and we drank a lot as youth. We drank a lot. And we thought that because we were young, this had no effect on us. But it absolutely did have an effect because your endurance wasn't what it should have been if you wasn't out there drinking. Your stamina wasn't what it should have been if you weren't out there drinking and partying or whatever. If you're not, this is why elite athletes, the true goats of their sports, they're not doing what everybody else is doing.
Exactly. Floyd Mayweather would go make it rain, but would not take one sip of alcohol.
Nope, not at all.
Not one drink. Exactly. So these are the things that the elites understand, that the good and great fighters simply don't get it until it's too late.
Nope.
And I'm afraid for Earl right now because it seems like his window is closing. And that greatness that he had for that short period of time, it may in fact be diminishing.
If I'm Earl, I go try and get 2 154 fights that are good fights. I maybe see if I can win a belt, and then I retire. I don't even.
Isn't the other Charlo undisputed?
He's there, but I think after he fights Canelo, he's eventually going to move up to 160.
No,
and
he said
Paul is going to have to.
He said in his promo last night that he still got business at 54.
What'd you say?
Charlo said last night on the promo that he said he still got business at 54.
Yeah, he got to get Zoo. He got to get Zoo out of there. He got Zoo been running his mouth. He got to get Zoo out of there.
He said he still got a couple more people.
Which one, Marlon Mel?
Jamel still. I'm sure after Jamel fights Canelo, he's gonna go back down to 154 and whoop on Zoo. Jamal, I don't know how much time Jamal's got. He's got his family issues. He's dragging out. He first of all, he need to fight Caleb Plant.
Yes, he does. Because what was that?
He said shit out there.
Beat Caleb Plant's ass. What was that? You cannot let him just smack you like that. Like, what the hell?
He got this taste slapped out of his mouth while playing.
He smacked. Oh my God! Like, what was that?
And then he ain't respond. That's what tripped me out.
Exactly.
Like, he's a big fighter. He didn't count.
Like, he just let him straight bitch him.
Yeah, he let him straight bitch slap him.
Like,
And,
it wasn't even like a punch.
but you gotta touch my face like that again, boy.
It was not even a punch. It was like an open palm, like 5 fingers straight to the face. Slap.
Hey.
Yeah, it was a slap, but it was a very.
Y'all got me thinking about I'm gonna get you, sucker man.
Like, golly.
That's what y'all got me thinking about. He slapped the taste out that man's mouth.
And he didn't do
shit. Ever seen Falcon Slap? When we get off, I'm gonna send both of y'all messages of the YouTube video Falcon Slap. That's what he did doing.
He smacked the man. He slapped the taste out that man's mouth. I was like, good Lord.
Then afterward, Jamel don't get along with the wife, and afterward, Jamel's the wife, Monkey Dog, his wife. I just said, my gosh,
that needs to happen now. I'm sorry, like you disrespect my manhood. We must fight. Fist to cuffs.
Yes,
must
and
fight.
he will make a lot of money defending his belt against Plant, and then fight because he still is the champion. But he needs to put them belts on the line and get going. And he needs to. And if he fights Plant, it can't be no bullcrap. He needs to beat Plant the hell up.
Oh yeah,
he needs to do what Benavidez did, walk him down, let him get slick, and he need to do some. Y'all remember them Triple G punches when Triple G come over like that? That's what he needs to do.
Him right in the top of his dome.
Yeah,
right there.
Exactly. When Caleb Plant be doing all that slick stuff and moving, he need to just be like that real quick and let him know I ain't appreciate that. He slapped the taste. Now I'm gonna talk about AB real quick because we've all had good conversations. Now there was a video made earlier this week where somebody was giving AB a hard time because he wrote a long thing. He apologized to Jay-Z. He apologized to Diddy, Floyd Mayweather. And some people gave him a hard time and said, hey, you did what you did. You got to eat it, blah, blah, blah. But in the back of my mind, whether Floyd, Jay-Z, or nobody else want to rock with him no more, the fact that AB said sorry to him, that's going to help his manhood in the long run. And I honestly think by him saying sorry 4 or 5 years from now, if he need a job in broadcast, he need a job in something, he's going to get what he needs to get for the simple fact that he says sorry, and most people don't. They just go on about their business like nothing happened. So I think even though he's catching, what he's missing out on because he's been calling Regis Prograis out, and, he's at the later end of his career, and that BLK Prime stuff, we talked all about that. MJ, that all fell through. I think no matter what, him apologizing like that as a man is only going to help him in the long run.
No, that's an absolute recognition on AB's part that he needs these people. These people don't need AB. They got AB's lined up to get in that slot.
Right.
And AB he's facing a reality that his career is beginning to sunset. And he needs to position himself to be able to do something outside of boxing, whether he's going to be a trainer, whether he's going to be getting to his commentating. He needs another
management, something.
Right, exactly. And this is his way of saying, I'm acknowledging that. I realize my career is beginning to wane. Please, let me find some other way to make some money so I can keep buying these daggone these chains and riding around and Lambos and come on, man. AB, he's a sympathetic figure. We love AB, but AB is a troubled young brother.
Yeah,
that he needs to get himself surrounded by people who care about him as a person.
Or he listens to. He need to listen to somebody because I know somebody to point to his side like, yo, all this nut ass stuff you doing is not gonna get it, homie.
Cut it out.
I think he got the people around him now to say that just because of him coming out with the apology. Because old AB wouldn't have came out with no apology. Like the fact that now he's like, all right, yeah, my career's about to end, and the fact that he will need a job. He will need some way to fund whatever he's doing, and on top of it is just like, all right, well, I did these people wrong, and as a guy, I still got to apologize, and I'm happy that he did it, just because.
No, that's why I said it only helps you. Even if people don't give him something right away, 4 or 5 years from now, if he needs something like it's life, guys, it always comes up, and you might be like, "Yo, he said what he said, but he did apologize," and it's a lot of people that don't.
Exactly.
Just for that, I'm gonna give him something to get some type of motion to go with. So,
man, I'm sorry to interrupt, Corey.
Go ahead.
Man, look, if I'm speaking directly to AB, we understand there's a maturation process going on here, but one of the things that these people have to understand is that these lifestyles that you want to lead, these opulent, what Dr. King called conspicuous consumption, where you want to be able to consume at this level that not many people can consume, that where you can buy anything you want. You got to get rid of all that stuff, man. Get rid of all that stuff, because none of this addiction to materialism is going to help you when you get to the age that I'm rapidly approaching, where you can't indulge in all that shit because you're too old now. Right. So I get it. These youngins right now, they want to live their so-called best lives, but they got to understand that somebody else has defined what best life is for them. They have to be able to step back and decide, okay, what is most important?
That's what I really learned in life, MJ, is a lot of people think like, yo, I got a Benz, I got a Lambo, I got these chicks looking at me, I got this jewelry, I got this or that. And I've always been able to be like, yo, if I got this much bread in my account and I can get in my car and I can drive to wherever I want and I can stay in a pretty nice hotel, it ain't got to be the top. Just let it be Hilton, Marriott, or IHG or something like that, and I can just enjoy who I am with the money I am. I'll be able to save a crap load of money, and I'll be able to enjoy life because I'm not always spending money to feel happy. I can feel happy just sitting around talking to y'all. So then if something do go wrong and I got to have a crunch, I can say, all right, I can live off this for a month and still be happy. Some of them, like, I'll never forget AB flushing $20 bills down the toilet. And I'm just like, dog, I don't give a damn.
I don't want to choke you out.
Listen, I know Twan, I know people who are millionaires and all that stuff. They'll never flush no damn money down the toilet. You think Jay-Z ever flushed $20 bills down the toilet?
No, because he ain't simple.
He's a billionaire. He ain't flushing no money down a damn thing toilet.
Sorry.
That's just flat out stupid. And the thing is, he's learning that, but now he's seeing, like MJ said, his mirror's closing, his window's closing, and it's getting real. And you even see the gray in his beard. And this is something that I have been saying. If y'all go look back on this channel, this is something I have been saying, guys, for 5-6 years. Like, yo, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to see boxing is going forward, and they ain't thinking about AB. And it was just 4 or 5 years ago, guys, he fought Jesse Vargas, and he was still AB, and everybody cared about what he was doing. And y'all see, what has it been the last 2 or 3 years? It's been big fights, and ain't nobody said nothing about AB or worried about AB or nothing.
Exactly.
So it can get pretty scary. Here, I want y'all to listen to this interview real quick that he did. Listen to this real quick.
How y'all see it going? Man, we gonna stop him. We gonna cut him. Come on, Blue Blood. You know what time it is. We gonna beat him to death. Hey, man, they calling, bro. They ready, man. AB. Man, fuck you, Blue. Oh, man, why I gotta get that treatment, bro? You sent me that bullshit-ass nigga. Captain. Hey, bro. He gave me a lot. He gave me 300,000 to get in shape, though. Hey, bro, I just tried to get you. No. Hey, you know what's crazy, though? No bullshit. This no bullshit. I love Dez, though. Be okay. I love Be Okay for life, though. For life, though. Swear to God. I'm behind him forever, man. Even though we ain't in the ties no more, but I love him forever, though. Yeah, I just want to see you get the bag. You know what I mean? He became an uncle to me forever, man. That's what's up. But about the fight, though, champ. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. I really ain't here to, everybody know who I'm with. You know what I mean? But I ain't here to do all.
So the funny part is he started off like that, but then he said, "No, what? I ain't gonna complain about somebody sending me 300,000 to get in shape." I'm gonna tell y'all right now, 300,000 is a lot of money, but it ain't a lot of money. You got to know how to be able to live off of 300,000 for 10 years, though. and be comfortable. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They people don't know how to do that, Twan. They'll spend $300,000 up in a month over some stupid stuff. If you know, when you really happy, you know how to be like, yo, I got 300 grand in my bank account, but I'm gonna know how to live off that bad boy for 10 years, and I'm gonna invest in and flip it.
Yeah, I'm
not about to go get this watch or this gold chain. Oh, and by the way, Twan, you can still get your nice Beamer or Benz or even a Bentley with that, or even a Porsche with that money. You can still get a nice one and still have friendly bread in your account.
Yeah. Easy.
Man, look, when you start talking financial matters, you are getting into my wheelhouse. Only because I've been able to retire. I was able to retire at
yeah, I already know, MJ. Go ahead and spit that game though. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was able to retire at 52 the first time. And I retired for about a
I can't hear a soul. Hello. Corey, you muted.
have to work again.
I know, bro. I'm just listening. I'm good, Twan.
My point is that
I can't hear MJ at all.
Opportunity is going to close. That window's going to close. It's going to evaporate.
You hear him now, Twan?
Yeah.
Keep on, MJ.
So your job is, while you're in your prime earning years, it's not about what you make. It's about what you keep. If you don't capture as much of that money during your prime earning years, so that when you get in your elder years, when you're no longer able to generate that type of money, if you don't capture that, your elder years are going to be ones of struggle.
Right? And like we talked before, MJ, like a lot of these dudes, they're like, listen, I like money, but I'm the type person, I like money, but I'd rather be able to learn how to buy my own land, cultivate my own land, build my own buildings, build my own natural resources. Most importantly, know how to create the stuff that people want to buy or need access to. Have money, but you still got to be able to do stuff you need to do. Like I teach some of these youngins, like, all right, bet. Instead of like my man Gilly's son, he got killed the other day in Philly, and it's just like, yo, like that Benz that you shot him for that joyride, you know, you could go get a crashed up Benz, put that bad boy together, and for like $2,000, and then have it paid off. You just kill somebody for something that it takes some inside your brain to make. That's brain power. Somebody created a car off of using their brain. That's how they put all that together. And you killed somebody over that.
Yeah, man. R.I.P. Young Cheese, man. That's the saddest thing ever, man. To hear about that young brother losing his life over some trivial shit.
Yeah, just stupid.
Yeah, just stupid, man. This is the nature of what these young people come from, right? All these kids, and I'm calling these young men kids because, you know, I've lived a longer life than most of these guys, so I can do that. These young kids don't. I know I was there when I was their age. We looked at old people like food. Like, yo, when I played ball, if an old dude stood on the court, he's food. You know, he might have been 30, 40 years old. But if I'm in my 20s, you are old, dude. You're
right.
Fool. But now that I'm now 60, I understand that no, them old dudes had a lot to offer. We just were too arrogant and too, headstrong to actually take the advice and the mentorship that they were willing to give. Yeah. And I think that has a lot to do with AB's maturation process. I think he's finally starting to get it. But with AB, he's like, what, 34, 35
Nah, AB
now?
is what? Yeah. Now, is he younger than Bud or the same age, Twan?
I think he's a little younger than Bud.
He's 89. He's 89. So what is that, fellas, this year?
I'm 31. I was born in 91. So he's about 33.
Yeah, 34. 34.
Yeah.
Because he's 89, Twan. So he turned 34 this weekend because they was talking about it.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. And to my point, he is starting to mature just now at 34 years old. He said, I bet you that brother, hopefully Al Heyman and them have looked out for him and have set up like.
I think he might have burnt that bridge, MJ.
I think he burnt that bridge.
I think he might have burnt that bridge. Some of the disrespectful stuff he was saying about Al Heyman, and when you talk to people, they say, look, here's the thing about Al Heyman. If you blow your money, he'll hold your money for it and he'll send it to you day by day. He'll invest for you. When you hear Danny Garcia, even the Charlo before he had his situation, Julian J. Rock Williams, they'll all say, thank you to Al Heyman. I invested in some real estate. I invested in this. I did this and that. So I don't ever have to work again after boxing. Like, my money's good. Like, they all were investing in something, whether they got a McDonald's in the middle of Iowa somewhere, they all invested their money right. So it's like, okay, I got an extra $6 to $7 grand a month coming no matter what for the rest of my life. So if I got that $6 or $7 grand coming, if I already bought a house and I got a mortgage and I got my cars paid for, I'm living normal like somebody who's busting their ass. And I don't know about y'all too, but $6 or $7 grand every month is good. And from New York City to Los Angeles, if you got a house and a mortgage,
shoot, that's what I'm trying to get.
Would you say, Twan?
That's what I'm trying to get. Like, I get where everybody's coming from, because between the three of us, I am the youngest, but I've already been on that train. I'm just trying to get there as far as like trying to get money up to invest, or me personally trying to get my life insurance license, so like I can create.
Like you can get there, and then I wouldn't. You know what's Twan? Life insurance ain't one, but I might have to hook you up with MJ. He give you some game, but the regular insurance is a mug too.
Yeah. So
just like, the regular matter of fact, I'm gonna send you some stuff when we get off here. It's a regular insurance is something called an insurance adjuster. An insurance adjuster always gets some bread because he can do anything from accidents to hailstorms.
Yeah, like
if you don't go that route, and you can be independent doing that too.
Yeah, I'm doing freaking health and life insurance. I just got to pass the test. Like, trust me, I get it.
Hard too, because there's always some dumbass out there crashing. I know some girl who hasn't been working since the pandemic because she just sit at home all day and do claims and quotes for people.
Yeah, like I get exactly what y'all saying, because I'm like, Corey, you already know I got kids, and
you got plenty of them.
And I ain't trying to.
They got a couple, and he done, and I did the splits in one, and I just said I'm cool.
Like I don't want to do like work. Your time, you can't use time for work, and I think AB is trying to finally realize that like he don't got as much time as he thinks. So
let's see Bernard Hopkins Jr.
Yeah, like if he's even then B-Hop, like B-Hop wasn't in the best position before he started making that comeback. And now since he made that comeback and he retired at 50 after Joe, I think whatever his name is.
Joe Smith Jr. knocked him out the damn ring.
Yeah, so even then, like after that, luckily he was cool with De La Hoya and he got in good with Golden Boy.
Yeah, he invested. That's what I'm saying. He invested in something. He flipped. He got him a house in Delaware. Y'all know y'all ain't far from Delaware right now.
Yeah,
they got some of the best taxes. Get you a house right there on the ocean. Yep. If you ain't got the money to put it away and get you a joint in Ocean City, Maryland, get you a joint up there in Delaware with low taxes. I'm giving out free game to anybody who watch this now, watching their playback. It's simply a matter of knowing how to enjoy your life, like MJ said, without telling everybody. It's so many ways to have money, make money. I'll never forget Vince Young. He went broke, Twan. He was a quarterback from University of Texas.
Oh yeah,
he would eat out at Cheesesteak Factory every night, and I'm just like, I looked at their menu. I'm like, dog, you doing more than Cheesesteak Factory. You got to be, because I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, yo, if I go to Apple, if I'm making the whatever he got $50 million a day, and I eat Applebee's and cheese. And back then they ain't have Uber Eats and DoorDash. If I'm ordering that, even if I'm spending 20 nights out, I'm sitting there thinking like, yo, what is you buying at Cheesesteak Factory? Are you eating $300? Are you getting a meal? Or are you getting 10 meals every night?
Everything. People it's just they gotta stop being like, you gotta.
And this is what messes me up, Twan. They be and MJ, they be like, yo, I come from nothing, this and that. And I look at it like, yo, I look at 50. It's two guys I look up to when they say this. 50 Cent, whether you agree or disagree with what he say, or it's Jay. And it's like if you come from nothing, you really in the back of your head, like yo, or Tech Nine. Tech Nine is an independent artist. A lot of people ain't heard him. He been independent his whole career and got millions. Yeah. If I did that and I lost all that money, I'm sitting in the back of my head like, yo, I'm not going back. Cameron was another one. Killer Cam told a story. He was like, yo, when Big first died and I had that first contract and it expired and stuff wasn't going good, it was like, yo, I either go back to Harlem or this or that. He said, and I wasn't going back to Harlem. So the little money I had, I went down to Ohio. I opened me a little club there because it wasn't that many clubs like that, a hip-hop club. I still had a name. I spent that. I turned it into a bar. I had some wings. I sold me a little marijuana here and there. And then I went and got, and then after that, I was already financially good doing legal stuff. And then Dane was like, yo, I'll get you out your contract. He said, that just made the millions easier. He said, because when you come from that stuff, Twan, you like, yo, I'm not going back. So that's why it killed me when some of these dudes, I'm from this, I'm from that. I'm like, you ain't from that shit. Because if you from that shit,
you don't want to go back to that.
Yo, I'll never forget bullets coming through my mother's back door in the early 90s. Germantown, Philly. This is not a lie. This is, swear to God, the truth. And every time I ever got down, I had to sleep in my car, make some money. I was like, I will never in my life be as dumb as to be like, yep, I'm going to buy this or buy that, because you learn self-discipline. People don't learn self-discipline, and they be so worried about, and I seen it with a homeboy, Twan, that I had played in the league. He had made the practice squad somewhere. He busy trying to do bets with Charles Woodson, and I'm just like, yo, forget that bet with Charles Woodson. Take 20 grand of that and put that into buying yourself a couple condos and start renting them out to people.
Yeah.
What you bet? Like, people be killing me with that, where they be trying to be with dude. Like, these dudes is getting $100,000 every other game, and you getting like $8,000. Are you crazy?
That competition thing is wild, man. People compete at all sorts of things. And we have to get away from that mentality and begin to go back to putting our families as the first priority. Not making money. Making money should not be your first priority. Your family, everybody should be aspiring to build families, because families are what communities are built of.
Yeah. And
communities are what make up nations. So if you want to start nation building, it starts with families.
All right. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the stuff people be into, and not the stuff that make you happy. Like, Twan, I know you struggling and stuff, but if you get back in the ring, or you get some money, like, or if you get, like, let me ask you this. Let me ask both of y'all this. If y'all got $100,000 a day, or I'm gonna say what I would do with it, and then I'm gonna ask y'all after this, what do y'all think one of these fighters would do with it? If I got $100 grand a day, what type of car do y'all think I get?
Me, I'm having me a fucking little Chevy. I'm not. Well, I have like a truck because I got kids, but it ain't gonna be
right.
Flashy.
And what do you think I get, Twan?
Nothing flashy. There ain't no reason to be flashy. I'm chill.
What do you think I would get if I got $100,000?
Probably a Chevy or a Ford.
I get a bullshit ass Hyundai Sonata, or with a bumper to bumper warranty, or a Honda or a Toyota with a bumper to bumper warranty for like $12,000 brand new, and I sit on that other $85,000.
Like
MJ might not even get a car. Go ahead, MJ. What would you do?
Look, you just hit it on the head, bro. Like, this is real world, right? I had a Honda Pilot that I bought in 2009, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was going to be the car that I kept until I retired, and then I figured I'd get me something after I retired, whatever. But during the pandemic, one of my sons moved home, and he started sharing my car with me. And last year, he totaled my Honda, right? So Honda cut me a check. They cut me a check for $10K. Do you know, I still don't have a car. I use $10K to pay off debt, man. I don't need a car right now. I work remotely, so I don't need a car right now. These are lessons I'm teaching these to my son, so that when they get older, they don't fall into these traps of thinking that they need to have a whole lot of money in order to be successful. Again, right. Your success should be gauged on your ability to feed your family.
Right.
Nothing beyond that. Right? No chains, no gear, ride. Nothing comes before your family.
All right.
And this is why I respect Bud Crawford so much. Because every time
kids in there.
He do. His kids, his family. He don't be flashy. He got a bread. They make fun of him. And I like Earl Spence. He ain't rolling around a Lambo. He got some bullcrap F-150 truck that he drive on his property, his lake house in the middle of Nebraska somewhere.
Yeah.
Go fishing with his son.
Like shit. What I would do, honestly, said 100K. I'm probably already got either LLC or escort. Give me something that I could write off real quick.
Yeah.
So and bring that right back to me.
Now, Twan, here we go. Now, what do you think one of these fighters gonna do with their first 100,000?
Oh, they getting something more off the chain.
Like this, name the 5 things they gonna do as soon as they get their first 100,000. Twan.
They gonna go to a jewelry store, get themselves a necklace or a watch.
Yep.
Or cut themselves some shoes.
Yep.
Get themselves a really nice car that's gonna be around like 30, 40K.
Yep.
And they'll rent something for themselves instead of renting something to flip.
Right. And then what happens after that, Twan, when it comes around time for their next fight? Then what they doing?
They scrapping.
They broke again.
They scrapping. Like they're scraping by for real.
They broke again. What they gonna do in that first 100 grand? What they gonna do? What the top fighter in Baltimore coming out? What are you gonna do as soon as he get his first 100K check?
Oh, he gonna act a mess.
I ain't gotta repeat what Twan said.
Oh, they acting a whole mess.
Hey.
They go right down to the block. They gonna hit up Norma Jeans. Freaking, they gonna put 10 grand right into Norma Jeans. All that ass all over the place, just making that bad boy rain.
Yep.
Then they gonna go right down to the harbor, go Harbor East, go to a really fancy ass restaurant that costs more money than what they need. Eat there. Freaking go get some more stuff. Then 2-3 months later, they gonna be upset.
Yeah, it's crazy. Here, I'm gonna let y'all hear this real quick, and then we're gonna go from there.
Radio Raw here with Antonio Tarver, one of the few people who has been in this rarefied air before. What did you see tonight?
I saw a fighter that's on a real elite level, smart fighter, a complete fighter that knows his way around the ring. I was so impressed the way he controlled the whole fight. I'm befuddled by what I saw from Spence. At this fight of this magnitude, right? He did what he could do. Didn't have no answers. It didn't seem like he had no answers defensively, or didn't have the ability to make an adjustment and do what he needed to do to stay in this fight. No defense. I ain't seen no defense. You couldn't get away from the jab. The jab is what beat him all night. And when he had some success, I think it was when Terrence Crawford was just working on defense. You can't just always be offensive minded in a fight. You gotta let a guy throw his punches and then let him spin himself a little bit. But the way he went about this fight, the result, the domination, the knockdowns and the knockout, the stoppage, it was just a beautiful fight, beautiful executed fight by Terrence Crawford, and it didn't look like they were in the same class of fighters. He made this tough fight very easy.
You know, it's a difficult time for Spence now. He's in the locker room. He's going to have to deal with this and accept this loss. Once this thing really settles in with him, what would you say to him to get him past this moment?
You know, Radio Raheem, I got to be honest, bro. They crowning these guys trainers of the year and all this stuff, but come on, bro. This man wasn't prepared for no Terrence Bud Crawford tonight. And the trainer got to take some flack for that. It's his responsibility, too, to have his fighter ready. Man, he had nothing about no defense, no head movement, no feints. Didn't have his hands up, feet all everywhere, bro. Where's the lessons? And so I've been out here campaigning as a trainer, and I predicted the whole fight. Go look at Tarver's tape, bro. I know boxing, and they won't let me help these guys. Boxing won't even help itself. They won't put people in position that can make a difference, bro. You know I'm that guy. Red did this at a high level. They know. Look, I'm 23 years in the game. I ain't never been cut, bro. Like, they better stop playing. You feel me? Let me help these fighters, bro. I can show you the difference. Bring one of them to me. I can show you the difference, bro.
Well, we got the tape. You didn't call it. You called it.
I know this game, bro.
I always love talking to you.
Only time I missed was when Haney went over to Australia. Every other fight after that, I done called and predicted and told you how I was going to go.
So, Brody put this man in this corner. Radio Raheem with Antonio Tarver.
Hey, I agree with everything Tarver said with the footwork, except for the defense. I don't know. Well, you know what? I take that back, Twan and MJ. Maybe if he moved his damn head, he might have not got shots.
I said earlier, he didn't feint. He didn't move his head. He didn't have no angles. He stayed on the line. Like, that's what baffled me more about this fight than anything. As Spence saying, as good as he is, a basic fan, an amateur knows, like, keep your head off the center line, bro.
I mean, I feel like Canelo moved his head more than Spence did last night. Canelo be going in there, he be moving his head like.
And Spence literally all he did.
Yeah, he didn't move his head at all.
Like, what is going on? Like, he didn't move his head. He didn't make any angles for himself. He didn't adjust on the fly. His defense was subpar. It was literally like, what are you doing there, Spence? Like, there was clearly levels to this, and Crawford like showed it. Like, Crawford took him to school.
Hey, Twan, you remember what Floyd said after Broner lost to McDonough, right?
Yeah.
Reaction to some of the things Mike Stafford had to say about what you and your brother Roger had to say about Adrian Broner following his fight with Marcus McDonough. First of all, the one thing he said that he suggested that maybe you guys were jealous of Floyd's and Broner's relationship. You know, maybe that you just need to step back and you're just kind of trying to ride their coattails.
Bro, who took that?
You're trying to ride Floyd's coattails and you're a little jealous of their friendship. That's what he had implied and said in an interview.
Hey man, look here. That man can't train nobody. Shit, I seen it right on the goddamn screen. Can't train nobody. I see why Broner got his ass whooped.
you heard him, Twan. He said, "Hey man, look here, man. That man can't train nobody. I seen it right on the goddamn screen."
Exactly. Like, what the?
I see why Broner. Hey, and right after that, MJ and Twan, he goes and be like, "Man, the man." He said, "How Madonna hit him with a looping punch like this?" He said, "The man ain't even moving his head."
And that's what Crawford really did. Like, I'm sitting looking like lean, move back, something. Do something to move your head. Because literally all he did was throw a punch. Crawford was just like, oh, pow.
All right. Let me ask you this real quick, MJ. Did you have a problem with the stoppage? Did you think they should have let Crawford go? I mean, Spence go on his back.
Not at all.
I told you I was at this fight with a lot of casual people, right? And I was calling for them to stop that fight in the seventh
round. Exactly. 7th round. That's what I thought. I thought they was done after he got knocked down that third time when he got barrel rolled into the bottom rope.
So do y'all think Derrick James did the right thing, or he was just trying to play it safe so couldn't nobody blame him probably?
Yeah, I think so. Because you remember when Crawford started beating up Sean Porter's father stopped that fight.
Yep, sure did, and told everybody he don't give a damn what their opinion is. My son ain't about to be walking around all beat up and embarrassed.
Yeah.
Family first, B. Family first. You're not going to let your son go out there and take unnecessary punishment when you know he's at a disadvantage and he cannot win? That was obvious. It was obvious. To me, it was obvious by like the 4th round. There was no way Earl Spence was going to be able to challenge Terrence Crawford that night.
Yeah.
Once he got to the 7th round and his face started getting disfigured, you got to stop that fight.
Shoot, hold up. Dez right here. Hold on, let me say Dez. Dez, what's up? Pop in, bruh.
Yeah, it was.
Pop in before we get out. Oh, hold up. Something going. What happened? Let me go. Y'all see me? Did I disappear, Twan, or no?
No, you good. You saw it.
Let me see. Let me hit Dez real quick. Dez, pop in. Get your opinion before we get out of here. Here, Twan. Forward. Twan, forward. Can you get that to your phone? Forward that link if you can. Get him in here. My thing is acting goofy, and it's not letting me. Yeah, it's being my thing acting goofy, Twan. See if you can send it to him.
Let me see if I can.
Cause that link, see if you can get that link and send it to him. Cause my thing ain't getting in there. Pop up in this joint, Dez, and talk, bro. We gotta hear what you got to say, and then we get up out of here because we've been rapping for a minute.
I gotta get ready to drop off myself, man.
Yeah, if you gotta drop off, go ahead, do what you gotta do, MJ. We appreciate your expertise. You the OG. We couldn't do this. We couldn't do this without that.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate chopping it up with y'all brothers, man, because it's not often that I get to talk to people who really understand the sport like this. So I just, I really feel honored and privileged to be able to discuss this with you guys. So anytime you want to chop it up, Corey, definitely holler at me, man. I'm always available.
Yeah, we always need you, and you always invited because that's what Twan like. Because Twan think I've been watching boxing forever, and I'll be like, wait till you hear my OG from Baltimore. He's been watching boxing forever.
Nah, man, this is boxing is it's a metaphor for life, man. We grew up in Baltimore, being trained in the martial arts, the combat sport arts, all kinds of sports. Baltimore's a sports town. Anybody from Baltimore knows this. So I've been immersed in sports since I was 3 or 5 years old, and it's always a pleasure to talk to people about it.
Right.
We want to say peace to Sean, peace to Dez, and peace to you as well, Corey.
All right, peace, brother. Thank you for calling in, man. Love. Thank you for the peace, brother. Twan, you there?
I'm still here. I'm just trying to get Dez on roll.
I think I got. I think I got some.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can figure it out. I think I got some. Give me 2 seconds, Twan. I think I might have been able to link it to myself and then send it to Dez somehow. I know he said he was working, but hold up. I think I'm gonna be able to send it. Let me see something, Twan. If not, I'm gonna send it to you.
Hold on, man.
Let me try one more thing. If not, I'll send it to you, and we can get Dez up in this bad boy because I got to hear what Big Dez got to say about this. Oh, that's what was going on earlier, Twan. All these goofy damn things, man. All these I was having I was trying to set up the phones, everything, because I was like, I know people gonna want to have something to say about this. This whole thing been epic. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to know what you was thinking. What was you thinking at that first knockdown, Twan, in the second round yesterday? What did you say to yourself? What was you saying? Was you what the hell is what's your reaction?
What from the first part of the fight?
Yeah, when he got dropped in the second round, what was you like?
I was like, oh shit! Literally, I said just like that. I'm like, okay, and then I saw it. I was like, oh no! Again, because like I said earlier, I was like, I picked Spence to win the fight just because of I thought his pressure would eventually be able to break him down, and that's my whole thing on it. I'm just like, okay, I really think that he has a shot to move forward, do what he has to do, be smart about it. But when he got dropped in the second round, I'm just like, oh no. I said just like that, I'm just like, oh no.
I sent Dez the link.
That's when I knew he really just figured him out. I'm gonna see if I can send it to him too.
I sent him one. Yeah, I sent him one. Let's give him 5. Give him 3 to 5 minutes. And then I was just man, what?
Well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, what on God's green earth happened? And I'm just like, dude,
I seriously was just like, it was, man, Crawford really I didn't think he had I knew he had really good ring generalmanship and really good fight IQ, but when he dropped him in a second, I was just like, oh boy, his IQ is levels ahead of Spence. levels because it was the way he dropped him. It wasn't like, oh, he threw a left straight. He hit him with his shotgun jab. That's what really dropped him. The left was just reactionary. He threw the left, but he was going down off the shotgun jab.
Right.
And he did the same thing in the 7th round too with the first knockdown. Now the second knockdown, I was with MJ when I was like, they should have stopped the fight. The ref should have stopped it. Derek James shouldn't even let him get 48th because you've never seen your fighter barrel roll into the bottom rope. Like he got hit into a barrel roll. If I was his coach, if I was James, the moment the barrel roll came was the moment I would have threw the towel. Like, you don't have it tonight, bro. Like let's just regroup. If you want to rematch him, rematch him, and I'll really sit and focus and let's figure out a new game plan. But you don't get barrel rolled into a bottom rope. Boxing, you stay on your feet. Like Crawford, literally, he check hooked him into a barrel roll. Like tumbleweed status. Like he did 1.5 tumbles into the bottom rope. I was like, oh shit. Nope. Mm-mm. I think the commentators want to the window. He needs to land a big shot. He needs to land a big shot.
And I will give Showtime this. For Spence being the guy that fought on Showtime, the commentators were not biased at all. I think they did a good job.
No, they did great, but I knew they wanted Spence to win.
Oh, they did. But they
definitely kept saying they kept saying he needs to land a big shot so he can come back. He's not coming back because Crawford is whooping his ass. Crawford is whooping his there is a difference between he was whooping his ass.
That's what I'm saying. He started whooping on him.
Bro.
He started beating on him bad. I'm just I'm sitting there. I'm just I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, Spence is good. Spence is great. Why he did not look like he really did not look
like Crawford.
Did they look like they had the same opponents last night? I don't feel like they even look like.
No, they didn't look. They didn't the fact that Crawford took not one but both of his main ways of initiating offense away. He took away the jab, and then when he kept switching to orthodox to olay his body shots, Spence should have known after the 3rd round that you ain't gonna land body shots like that, not effective body shots at least. He just kept throwing the body shots. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for body work. I love body work. I like throwing body work. I like initiating body work. But at some point where your opponent isn't reacting to the body work, like you say, you need to be like Thanos and go for the head. Something like that. I'm just like, bro.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we'll give Dez a couple more minutes and then we'll go over this we'll go over these fights that's coming up, and then we get out of here. You get back to your family, I get back to mine. We'll see if we want to live stream. But this was this was epic, Twan. I just could not believe you. I don't think me or you or anybody that knows boxing was thinking this is going to be just a beatdown. We all thought if it went down, it would either go to decision or it would take to the 10th round to get to him. But it was literally you can tell me if I'm wrong. It was a slaughter, right? He just out of me. Let me look at this real quick. Let me look at this boxing schedule before we get out of here. All right, I know we got my man Usyk. So let's see what we got coming up here. In August, fight schedule. Next week we got Jake Paul versus what's my man's name? Nate Diaz. Then we got Laura versus Danny Garcia too. I don't know if I want to watch that. They're both at the end of their career, but hey, let's see if one of them get a win. Navarte doing his thing in Arizona again. He's always fighting in Arizona. AJ versus Dillian White. I ain't really too hyped about that. August 12th. We got a Showtime on August 12th. Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Melvin Lopez. And then in Canada, we got Better Beef versus Callum Smith, August 19th. Looks like it might be some good heavyweights on the undercard. We got another DAZN August 19th in Birmingham, England. And then Tulsa, Oklahoma, we got Jared Anderson right back in the ring. Wow, he must really want to prove himself. He getting right back in the ring in less than, 3 months. And then Matias versus Sergey Lipinets, August 26th on Showtime. It's supposed to be, I looked it up, Dubois versus Alexander Usyk supposed to be popping too. So this is going to be one heck of an August. And then obviously everything's going to cool out till September when we got Joe Joyce. And then we obviously got Charlo and all them popping up in September. And then, later on we got Ngannou versus Fury. So great fight week, great fight schedule. Terrence Bud Crawford is the undisputed champion of the world. He done his thing. And we out this piece, man.